Thank you, Dr. Shogun. I'm Kevin Kosar. I'm a resident scholar at the American Enterprise Institute, where I study American government and politics. I'm also the author of the book Whiskey, A Global History, which is one reason why I am with you tonight on this latest episode of History Happy Hour. Another reason I'm here is because I was born and bred in Ohio, William McKinley's home state. So who better to teach you how to make a delicious cocktail known as McKinley's Delight? It's a transformational variation of the Manhattan. Most, if not all of you know, the Manhattan's a simple classic. It's made with bourbon or rye whiskey, sweet vermouth, and a dash of bitters. McKinley's Delight also uses rye whiskey and sweet vermouth, but it adds cherry liqueur and substitutes a dash of absinthe for the bitters. Now I'm going to show you how to make this cocktail in just a moment, but first I should pause to say something about why we use rye, not bourbon, in McKinley's Delight. In the late 19th century and early 20th century, rye was a very popular version of whiskey, particularly in Pennsylvania, Maryland, and yes, Ohio. Bourbon, meanwhile, was more popular in the Kentucky and much of the South. Rye is a spicy whiskey. When you taste it, you often pick up a note of black pepper. It's not nearly as sweet as bourbon, which is made mostly from corn. I often tell people that if you want to remember the difference between bourbon whiskey and rye whiskey, just recall the difference between rye bread and cornbread. Different grains make differently flavored breads and, yes, whiskeys. So let's make this cocktail. Take a martini glass, fill it with ice to let it chill. Take a cocktail shaker, add ice to it. Pour 2 ounces of rye whiskey, 1 ounce of sweet vermouth, a teaspoon of cherry liqueur, and just a few drops of absinthe. Now, as I let this cocktail chill for a moment, I want to mention the whiskey I'm using here. It's Old Overholt rye whiskey. I could have picked any number of whiskeys, but I picked this one because Old Overholt was a brand that was very popular in Ohio in the days of McKinley. It's a brand that goes back 200 years. It was invented by the Oberholtzer, or Overholt as it was anglicized, family, who were Mennonites in central Pennsylvania. Well, let's shake this cocktail. Pour out the ice. Our glass is well chilled. Strain the drink into the glass. If you notice this cocktail, you're going to pick up the spicy rye whiskey, the herbal wine notes of the sweet vermouth, the fruit of the cherry liqueur, and a wisp of black licorice aroma that comes from the absinthe. And if you want to add just a little more complexity to this already complicated drink, you can garnish McKinley's Delight with a twist of lemon peel. Twist and drop it in. So there you have it. McKinley's Delight, a transformational cocktail for a transformational president. Cheers.